All right, welcome back. You're still on To the Press, coming to you from the Abuja studio of Kaftan Television. And if you've been following us, we have gone through the headlines from several papers. We had the Guardian, we had the Tribune, Nigerian Tribune, we had the Vanguard, we had the Daily Trust, the Leadership, and a number of others. And the major stories coming from those papers, number one, the fact that the minister designate, or the minister who was the ministerial nominee for the Ministry of Defense, General Musa, has been confirmed by the Senate. And then another very important one that runs through the entire gamut of the papers we examined has to do with the fact that General Musa is saying there will be no more payment of ransom, there will be no more negotiations with terrorists. That's talking tough there, and I think that that's exactly the peel that we need at a time like this to ensure that this portion of insecurity, the kidnapping, the banditry part, is taken out. And that runs through almost all the papers. And then you also have another headline that has to do with the CBN erasing the deposit limits. So if you have 1 trillion naira, you can put it in the bank system. It doesn't matter any longer. You can put whatever amount you have in the account, and then you can also withdraw as much as 500,000 naira. That the cap has been taken higher per week. That is, that's another one that really runs through the entire papers. And then, right, I guess basically those are the more prominent ones. So the man's been confirmed. General Musa has been confirmed as Minister of Defense, and hopefully the president should swear him in any moment from now. And then you also have the fact that he's already speaking. He's already like hitting the ground running. He's already opening his plans for the nation and all that. So I have my guest with me here this morning. His name is Ambassador Moses Kolawole Obisesan. He is the CEO of Stratec Properties Limited, a property company based in Abuja here. He's been on this program and on several other programs in this place. He's featured on the press like this. He's featured on the Polity. He's featured on Generations Gist, and so on and so forth. And so he's a part of the family, and I'm sure that you know him. Like I say all the time, his initials are MKO, but not the MKO that you used to know. Well, welcome, MKO.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at the confirmation first, and the pronouncement from him already. Yeah, let's take that together.
Okay. Morning, everybody. Basically, I want to say that the appointment of General Musa is one of the very best. One of the very best that I think Tinubu has made in recent times, and it needs to be given a thumb up for that bold initiative. Yes, the resignation of the former Minister of Defense was very calm. I also love the exit. It simply just said, look, for health ground, and so we keep it there since he said that's for health ground. But I think it's taking a round peg away from a square hole and putting the square peg in the square hole. You know, that change was much needed, and were very timely. In fact, it should have happened. Well, it's not. I mean, better late than never. So I want to commend the CEC, the chief, the president. You know, the commander in chief. I commend him for the appointment. For the nomination. Also, I also want to thumb up for the National Assembly for not accepting, taking a bow and walking off. You know, because again, the fact that a whole lot of persons believe that the guy is good for the job, it can very easily just say take a bow and go. No, but the people have to screen him and say, listen, yeah, we know that you have all of the pedigree, but we want to be sure that you are ready for the job. We want to be sure that you have the right mind, the right whether you just want to enjoy your, when you're already retired. Some people just want to go and enjoy their retirement. They really are not cut out, so they are just.
They really want to go and rest.
You just want to go rest, and hey, good. He spent a donkey years to be in the military. So if you have said, you know what, guys, I just want to take it easy, then they would have actually known that maybe he's not the right person. He might have all of the credentials, all of the CV, talking about what it takes to be able to really tackle the terrorism and the security challenges that we have. He's got the experience, he's got the know-how, he understands even the politics behind it. He understands how to navigate the very murky water, because our security architecture is pretty complicated. You're going this way, you're offending some. You're going in this other way, they are not allowing you, and all of that. So he understands like the back of his finger. So, but what the National Assembly did was to find out, you know the job, but are you ready to do? Because these are two different things.
And so for once, the Senate President really stood tall. Yeah, insisted, no, we're not doing bow and
take
go.
a bow.
We're not. I think we really need to give him some support.
So sometimes the fact that somebody can do the job, you should ask him, do you really want to do the job? Because I've seen a whole lot of take a bow and go, in our Senate and the National Assembly generally. But I'm saying that it's time that we grow people and ask them, do you really want, are you cut out for this job? Are you going to articulate their thoughts? Because from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So let's hear what is in their heart. Let's hear whether they are as concerned as an average Nigerian about our insecurity. So having said that about the National Assembly, I also quickly want to go to the man himself. I also love the fact that he hit the ground running. He was already by that statement alone, he's sending shiver to those who are not serious about whatever, that we're not going to negotiate, okay? We're going to go after you. We're actually going to see that we match force for force. And also the fact that he said he's not going to negotiate doesn't remove the carrot and stick approach. No. Before you commit the crime, we are going to tell you don't commit crime, and we're going to dangle the carrot to you. We'll do our best not to ensure that not to make you commit crime. But if we do, we're going to go after you. We're not going to say, okay, you've committed a crime, okay, but because whatever, okay, can we do? No, because the negotiation is usually a temporary win. Exactly. You get somebody out of here, but you empower the guy to do 10.
Exactly.
For each one you save, you have actually empowered those guys to do 10. So if really if you're not looking at the immediate gain, if you're looking at medium time gain and long term gain, then we need to really take the hard way. That's why somebody said your road be rough. Maybe our road needs to be rough for us to get it right in security side. That all of the security architecture really need to be totally overhauled. And I also want to, I love the fact that he started talking about what he want to do even before he's been sworn in. Now, but beyond even that, I also want to plead with Mr. President. It's not enough to give the right guy the right job, but please give him the political will. Because the political will belongs to Mr. President to say, you know what, I want insecurity brought to the news, to its news. Now, if he wants that, because sometimes, you see, it's a very delicate balance between his political interest and the security interest of the masses.
The backing of Mr. President.
Yeah, he needs the backing of Mr. President.
It should be very zealous. He may have everything together, but if he doesn't have the backing
of Mr. President, that's why he's got CEC, the commander-in-chief. Because the guy really needs to first of all solve the insecurity politically. This guy will now solve it technically. But if Tinubu will not, will favor some of it, because sometimes some of the big sponsors and financiers of our of our insecurity are going to be around him.
Yes.
In fact, just like it's already been said that we have quite a number of persons in his cabinet who really are of questionable character.
Look, and all of that. Talking about that, I think that even right now, if you don't want the man to fail, I think that Mr. President needs to make a clean sweep of that ministry, which is to say, remove the Minister of State also and replace him with somebody fresh, because he also doesn't have any complementary resume on the subject of security. I mean, looking at his tenure in Zamfara, there's nothing
fantastic about
no. I get you. So that it doesn't become a stumbling block. Don't forget also, this is somebody who used to defer to him. Now becoming his boss, as it were. That alone can create ego problems.
Correct.
And then when you also have someone who's not too keen about the problem being taken care of, I mean, who's a how do you call it now? A closet, maybe a sympathizer, who wants the soft way. I mean, that could derail whatever this man brings to the table. So I think that that's an area that the Mr. President needs to look at critically and look boldly and remove if he has to remove him.
Usually I shy away from telling Mr. President what to do. Yes, but we can tell him what we suggest him. What we're thinking.
Order him.
So we are saying that
will help the cause.
Correct, because the two of them really need to align in their vision. You cannot be thinking about let us negotiate. Exactly. Why are you thinking about don't negotiate? It's going to be a big problem. You know, especially when
when somebody is known to have bought what do you call it now, high value vehicles for bandit leaders during his time as governor. What do you expect? He will continue to think that that's the way to go. So I need all because it's a gamut of players. I need all of the players to really do their own job. There's job for Mr. President, just like you have also analyzed that. I mean, you need to have political will to want to stem this insecurity. And one of the areas is to even still look at the Minister of State. Is he really aligned with the new vision of the current substantive Minister of Defense? If he is not, then I think it's time for us to look elsewhere. I mean, maybe maybe you want to make him what do they call these people now, one of the ambassadors, because ambassador list now look like when you how to settle people who you think okay, the guy he may not be too, let him just go. How much settlement does the person require? After being governor, you have been settled for 2 years as minister. What else? So I mean, when it comes to any settlement, there are several people needing settlement who have not been. I mean, somebody's been campaigning on behalf of there's this Igbo man who has stood very firm. He's based in Lagos. What's his name now? Oh my goodness. No, not Ojoma. Ojoma is dead. Okay, the name will come later. But everybody knows the guy. He stuck out his neck all this while supporting APC and everything, and yet nothing has gone to him. Nothing. Not even. I'm just saying that you can't continue to focus on a few persons when you have a large retinue of people you really need to take care of.
So for me also, all I'm just saying is that for the success that we desire in the security issues, there are a number of players. We love the fact that he has brought this man like the technical coach for the Super Eagles, if you get what I'm trying to say, to be able to actually coach the boys, motivate them, tell them let us go, because they've seen him that he was a world champion in that area, and he will be able to motivate them. We are also saying that the assistant coach, we need to look at it, whether the guy is ready in this part, especially the part that we will no longer negotiate. First of all, we want to see the Minister of State also follow such trend to say, okay, enough is enough. We are not, and we want it publicly, because you see, when you say something publicly, what it does is that he reassures others about what you're thinking, and he also sends messages that the game is over. I mean,
now that message from yesterday has gone to certain circles, and then they begin to readjust. It's either the ship out or
some of them will drop their hands and move and say, you know what,
these guys may be in for serious business now.
So that's the thing, security. And I mean, like beyond that, I would also say that we should open up. I love one whatever that I saw, that about 3 countries have accepted to come into Nigeria, to assist Nigeria in insecurity. It's not for today's paper,
okay,
but it's because it aligns with the insecurity. I'm saying, Mr. President, please bend backwards. You have declared a state of emergency in the security sector. Some of the things is to do some of those things that naturally some will not do, just to give us the security that we so desire. Please play down on politics, because I'm going to tell you something. Some of the security is being fueled by the 2027 consideration, and some of the non-taking action by the active players, by those who should take action, is also because of the consideration for 2027. Good. So if Mr. President will say, you know what, yeah, much as I know that I'm doing a whole lot and I want to do more, I mean, from 2027 to 2031, but you know what, guys, I'm going to do the job for now, and I'm going to play down on politics. It's not going to be an easy decision, I know, but you're going to play down, because you know something, actually your coming back it's actually the decision of Nigerians. And if Nigerians realize that this is actually one stuff that you need to sort, just like the days of power outage, one thing that you need to solve for people to see that we can still let you lead for 2027 to 2031 is the insecurity. And they need to see that your political angle need to play down a little bit for for the security seriousness to come to the fore. To come to the fore. Yeah.
Yeah. We can't talk too much over this insecurity matter.
Yeah.
And I do hope that the right persons are watching and will take the message to Mr. President. This is very, very crucial. We can't continue to be this way. I'm talking about 2027.
Yeah.
And even if Mr. President had fears of stepping on toes, he has every motivation now. He has every backing now, because all he needs to do is latch on to the pressure from Trump.
Correct.
And everybody can see that. So on the basis of that, you can step on whatever toes now and say, look, we don't, because we don't want a bigger problem.
Correct.
We need to deal with this.
Correct. Fantastic.
So I think
they should pay you for this consultancy. No. Seriously. So he now has a beautiful excuse to be able to do whatever he wants to do.
I should use this window.
Correct. In fact, that is why I love when he said, I declare state of emergency in the security. Fantastic, way to go, but don't just mount it. Let people see, and this appointment also point to that fact, to the fact that I think I'm thinking in that direction.
Exactly.
But beyond that, ask this man, what does it take to reverse the trend? Because for now, we are losing to the insurgency, to terrorism and all that. They are gaining ground. They are becoming even bolder. They are becoming more fearless. They are getting more equipped. So it's time, that we start snuffing them and really take back our control. Also, I want to say something that look, for the insecurity matter, I think it's also for Mr. President to know that the fact that whether he has all of the governors on his side, he still has the Nigerian people to contend with.
That's it.
Whether you have 30 state governors on your side and then only 6 at the other side, you still have Nigerian people to contend with. Yeah. And one very major thing that you can solve, just like I said, the host has already given you a free consultation. You should have paid him for that. But look, you have a beautiful excuse to deal with anybody decisively. Very decisively. And it is now that you need to do it before it is too late.
Exactly.
Because even the 2027 you're trying to have, if there is insecurity so prevalent in the land, look at when we first of all heard that there was a possibility, there was a rumor of coup. That tells you something.
Imagine that.
So if coup had succeeded, we would have been gone. If we're unable to manage even our whatever, the Trump whatever would also overwhelm us. Guys, I think let's play down on politics and let's deal with the insecurity decisively. I believe that the general will need a lot of equipment. It's really going to need a whole lot of resources.
And he analyzed it yesterday. Those things are very highly expensive.
Correct. So apart from putting more resources in that direction, we will also say that, look, when it was said that Nigerians don't want to join the military or join the police, this is not correct. It's not correct. I'll tell you, look, there are ways to be able to actually motivate people to go in a particular day. They look at what are you doing for the current people. If the current soldiers are not motivated, just raise the bar and say, okay, you know what, guys, I was shocked when one of the generals told me that maybe the least whatever in the army takes 45,000 naira. I was shocked.
One guy I said 104,000 and then 112,000. I was shocked.
When he came in, I mean, when he came in, he said, what's the smallest salary here? This is 45,000. I said, what? Are you kidding me? Are there people? So maybe the minimum wage man are taking it to 70 or whatever. But for me, I'm just thinking, how can somebody
put his life?
Yes, how can somebody pledge his life?
104,000.
Go and check US soldiers. Check the bounty on US soldiers. They will tell you that, look, because these guys live their life and they say, you know what, I will ensure that you can sleep with your two eyes closed while I keep mine open. Then we are going to actually give you what you deserve. I am saying that Nigerians will sign up to go into military, to go into police, to go into the security architecture if you actually motivate them well. Right. I don't buy the idea. I'm a CEO of my company. If I want a certain areas to be given attention that I want, we just put a little bit of bait there. People will move there. True. So it's not something to just hold down. Wow, our doctors moving off because they are not well motivated. True. So why are people reluctant to be able, if truly they are reluctant? Because I also see from some other people who say that even with the media that is being paid, people still corner them because again this unemployment situation is really terribly alarming. So people are like willing to go die because of trying to earn a living. By the way, many Nigerians actually are in the throes of death every day as they go out. So I mean, they are ready to do it, but let's encourage them more. Correct. How do you pay someone 104,000 to go and die? Come on, man. It's terrible. I think we need to just check, even with some of our contemporaries. I'm not saying we can pay as much as US. No, I'm not saying that, please. But I'm saying check your contemporaries, see what is being done in neighboring countries, and see, and say, okay, if this guy can do this for their own military people, let's be able to do it.
Imagine if the lowest paid military a person earns 250.
That is just the rock bottom by which 250. But it's not. We're not talking about. When I heard it, I couldn't express my shock because the person was just talking generally. It wasn't really. He said when he came, I said what? I said what? You're telling me Nigerian soldier? Yeah, I said, yeah.
And guess what? The worst part is that sometimes they're on the war front and the allowances don't get to them. Yes. Somebody is sitting on it.
That should never. I love the fact that you have declared state of emergency in the security sector. Please, that should never raise its head again.
See the squalor in some barracks. See the squalor.
You go there, it's terrible. This is where people sleep. This is where people lay their heads. Come on, man.
So a whole lot needs to be done in the area of welfare. There's no doubt about it. And also, when people die, it should be. I think something's been done recently about that. That there should be a proper insurance package for them when they die, and not just that there's the risk. The survivors, the loved ones should be able to have easy access, prompt access to whatever it is. So that will be that, and. Let's talk about.
I know one thing they are doing in the side of proper plan. I can speak very, very well because I know about it. I know what they call PHDL, which is actually called post-service housing. PHDL, Post-Service Housing Development Limited, which is actually a fantastic, something put together to be able to ensure that any soldier, any army. You understand? Now this one is directed to army, and I know that it is there in all of the forces and all that, maybe even police. That anybody who retires has a roof over his head.
Wow.
That is a beautiful concept that I want to challenge the current Minister
of Defense,
with the Chief of Defense Staff and also the Chief of Army Staff. Make sure this comes to a reality.
All the services.
Make sure there is a reality that no soldier haven't said, you know what, I pledge my life, will not die, then his families are thrown out. It is a big demotivation. But when you know that, look, once you join the Nigerian army, my family, in terms of insurance, in terms of what I should get, and at least a roof over their head, that nobody will be thrown out of the barracks and then will be on the street moving out. No, it should not be. I really want to commend that this is a beautiful initiative, but don't leave it at because I know that if a lot of attention is given to that place, that is a fantastic, a huge initiative. Encouragement, you know, for people to want to join the Nigerian army. You know, so Nigerian army indeed any of the. And I also want to challenge other security players, you know, to really to take a cue from that. But look, what you have for Nigerian army should be in the Navy, in the Air Force, in the police, in the civil defense, in all of that. Let people, whenever they pledge their life, that look, let's treat them like heroes that they are, even when they are alive, not waiting till they die. Even when they are alive, let's treat them.
I hope that the new minister will also consider having spoken tough. I mean, being tough on no negotiations, no ransom payments. I hope he can expand that a little to also say there's something like rehabilitation of repented people. If I mean, how do you rehabilitate people who did damage, who killed other people, who maimed them for life, who dispossessed families of their breadwinners, and then you rehabilitate them, and on national TV you see them being rehabilitated, being given packages, being given grants, eating lunch and whatever with the state actors, when their widows are languishing, when their children are not, the widows of those people killed are languishing, their children are homeless, the children have no food, they have no breadwinner any longer, or some of the people are demented from the encounter, or they are maimed for life, they have lost one arm, they have lost one limb, and then you say you are rehabilitated. It puts spit on the faces of those people. It tells of no appreciation of their effort. It says that our priority, our punitive and what is it called now? Our benefit system is warped.
I get you, and I understand where you're coming from, and to a large extent I agree with you. But I also know a little bit about what they call it's like a corridor that they open whenever you are in the theater of war. Well, this is what is done. They will just tell you, you know, we want to fight, but if you know that you don't want this war to continue, move to this certain area. We will consider that you have given up, that you are handsing off. And when you hands off, normally they said those who are soft members of the Boko Haram, of the the bandits and all of that, the soft members. Soft members are people who really did not want to be part of it, but they are just coerced into it, they just forced to be part of it. But when they declare such, they move to such places. Now, even before they were apprehended, now that corridor is a place where they are able to say, look, I really don't want to be part of this, and I've moved there. Now, the international law require that you don't kill such people because they surrendered even before you captured them. Now, if they've surrendered, now I know that to the general public, all Boko Haram are Boko Haram, all bandits are bandits, all whatever are maimed and killed and whatever. They are saying that a large chunk, it could be that only 20% of the people that you saw are actually there to, they are the only 20% are criminally intended and the ones that are really doing the killing. But these other 80% are just to beef their number. So what the military try to do is to deflate the number of the enemies, to say, okay, let's see whether we can beat out some of this 80% so that their number drastically reduced, and then we can now find a way to be able to really rehabilitate this one, because they are not of the high criminal tendency and all of that. Now, but how this is done, usually what I tell them, what I discuss is military. Your men and officers are fighting to win war. If you manipulate any part of that process, you will endanger the lives of your people.
Endanger yourself.
Yeah, yourself. So be sure that what you are saying exactly is what it is. That if somebody has actually hands off and is not the top criminal, whatever, that they need to be rehabilitated or whatever, then let it be done in the most.
It's a good thing that you put this caveat, this clause. You should be clear how the process is managed.
Correct.
Because I was just going to say that people who even were the real core can also quickly, when they feel that the game is not going their way, they can also elect to be considered as people who are surrendered, and that could jeopardize.
Now, what I will say about that one is that if they are core commanders and core leaders of the Boko Harams, of the banditry and all of that, please never, what I would say even generally to all of them, both the core or the non-core or whatever, so long as you have been part of these people, should be never considered to be part of this military. No, because they already have the information there, and then if they now have yours, they are terrible inroad to actually messing you up. So they should never, even though the soft people may be rehabilitated, blah blah blah, and all of that, but you should not think of getting your soldiers take from the clean stock. And say, Nigerians, solid people, let's get you trained, let's motivate you.
All right, so let's just take a breather, and when we get back, we go on to the CBN intervention. We go on to one or two other topics, and that will be it, because we have barely 20 minutes to go. Welcome back. You're still on to The Press, and it's coming to you from Kaftan Television, and we're broadcasting live from the Center of Unity, the capital city of Nigeria, Abuja. And I've had with me for the past how many minutes now, like about 40 minutes or 30 something minutes, I've had with me my guest, Ambassador Moses Kolawole Obisesan. I call him MKO, and he's been doing quite some justice to the security, because that's what we focused on, the confirmation of General Musa as defense minister and the pronouncements he has made to the fact that there will be no more negotiations with terrorists, there will be no more ransom payments, and that's what we've been talking about largely. And then we move now, but just before we move, let me remind you that the phone number is open, 0802-993-365, 0802-993-8365. So if you didn't catch it the first time, you should at least catch it the second time. So now you can call in, let's have you weigh in. And so we'll move now, and we will be moving to the issue of the contractors who milled around the Federal Ministry of Finance yesterday protesting their unpaid monies. I don't understand this, because it has happened several times within this year, and it doesn't seem anything has been done. And when you think about the humongous amount that was in the budget, you begin to wonder. And again, I think thereafter we've had a supplementary budget. You're wondering what exactly is happening. And so I have said somewhere before, some years back, that you cannot talk of ease of doing business when people cannot get their money when they work for you. I don't understand. I think that for me, that's the core of ease of doing business. You do your business, you discharge your own part, and then you get paid. Because you see, a lot of times people have gone to collect monies from finance houses, from banks at very crazy interest rates, and then you hold their money, you don't pay them. This is destroying businesses. You can't be talking of ease of doing business in such an environment. How do you see it?
I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you on this one. I think there are certain things that we should just put behind us.
Exactly. Put behind us permanently.
If you do not have money to do the job, don't do it. Recently, it was checked, and it was was
it the Ambassador regime that did the thing that went against Okadigbo when there's no budget there's no budget for a project. Something. I forgot it.
Yeah. So recently it was actually reported that about 11,000 or more projects, federal projects, languishing, unfinished, abandoned projects all over the country, and running into trillions of whatever to be able to bring them to. I think let's really get our hearts together. Don't start what you can't finish, and then don't give people project when you don't have the money for it. You got it right. I'm a business person. I know how difficult it is to get money to do a project. Now when you actually do the project, your time is still running. Not for 1 year. You can destroy that business by that. Exactly. Because you can destroy families. You can destroy relationships. You can destroy health. Some people even they die from it because of the hypertension. Hey, bank is over me, or these people are, So I really want to plead. I know it's not easy. To be able to strike a lot of balances. But one thing that is easy is, I love what this person said. Whether I don't know about his the contractors and all that. But one thing Wike says is that I will go look for the money. I will make sure that when I'm giving you this contract, I will pay you 80%, but you must do my job. My brother, that is because you now know that the 20 maybe overs around your profit and all that. He said, but I will go look for the money because he is awarding that contract. It's your job to go look for the money. Now, when you're sure about how the money will come in, even if it's going to be in phases, so that your phase 1 is so 25%, but I have 25% for it. When we are done, we will move into phase 2. You get another percent like that, and so in 4 tranches you're done. But don't just leave people without being able to understand what's going to happen. Once you cannot predict, is a very huge, terrible thing for business people. So I want to plead with our financing, architecture and whatever for this current dispensation. Please advise Mr. President and the rest of them very well that we don't just jump into too many stuff and don't get anyone completed. Yeah. And for those who are also agitating. The only thing I would just say that if it is possible for you to sit, at the dialogue table, please, if such windows is open, kindly do the talk, because it's better to judge than to war. Being on the street, yes, you have made your mark. They have captured it in the paper. We already know that you are not comfortable and all that. But the next thing is, please, can we sit together? Once the Minister of Finance call all of these people and whoever is in charge of that, really dialogue with them, and then don't also promise what is not. It's their money. Give them a possible deadline and negotiate so that they can just plan their own payments, schedules and all of that. Yeah. So and
don't forget, before it boils over to the point where these people are doing that, it probably means that Georgia has failed, or one party in the dialogue has refused to Georgia to take place.
Correct.
So these are some of the issues. Now, quickly, CBN lifts the limit on deposits, and then also enhances how much you can collect per week. How do you?
For me, I think it's a good one because it is to expand the space of the unbanked. Because there are too much of our money that is lying under the pillow, under the cooking pot, even there was a time when they discovered that people, dig pits and keep cash there. That is not the way cash is meant to be. It's supposed to be. That's why they call it currency. It should be in a place that it can flow. The cash, the naira, a billion naira that you dug up a place and drop it, you're devaluing, you're killing the naira. Not even in terms of value, but even physically, the money will not be crispy. It's not going to be nice.
True.
But if it is within the banking walls, what it does is that there is more liquidity for people to be able to really turn around businesses.
Yes.
So for me, taking that limit out, I think, is a beautiful thing to do, so that you can encourage people to bring in their money, so that there will be a lot more liquidity in the system to be able to power some of the businesses. I'm into real estate. I know how difficult it is to raise funds to be able to do, because real estate is actually mega project. I mean, mega financial demanding. You know, so you want to build a small house, you know what it is. You want to do maybe an estate of just 100 units, you know what it is. So I think the more we can open this gate to be able to ensure and encourage those who have kept their money outside of the system, currency should be in a place that it can flow. When you're not using it, it's available for me to use. When I don't need it, it's available for Mr. C to use. That is the beauty of currency. It is not for some people, like some of our leaders in the past. You stash up our money and keep them abroad. Now it's not in the system. It's not doing us any good. It's not helping our business economy and all of that. So I just want to. I think it's a fantastic policy, and I want us to follow through. Also, that they have increased what you can the cash you can take. I think it's also wonderful, because at some point some people feel like I cannot pay my gardener. Those people at that level, really, yeah, you should do transfer. You should do all of that. But hey. You should also have some little amount that you want to pay the orange seller at the street and all of that. So increasing the limit is not a bad one. Yeah. Even if you want people to do e-banking and all of that, all those e-transaction and all that, you must find a way to encourage it. For instance, if I know that there is less charges when I do electronic transaction than when I collect cash, more persons will move in that direction. I think it's just for you to just reduce this here, increase that there and all of that. People will naturally gravitate to the ones that makes more sense.
That makes more sense for them.
Yeah,
correct. And then the US is considering visa ban for those they associate with what they have tagged genocide in Nigeria.
It's a fantastic, it's a beautiful thing, because again, I would even say that it's long overdue, not just for those, those supporting terrorism or supporting genocide or supporting all those unrest and insecurity in our land. I also think for those who stash our money abroad, and this will be difficult for them, because if someone has stolen us dry and kept it in your pocket, you look at it. That is the cause of just this morning I had 10 million children out of school. Do you know why they are out of school? It's because even the provision of school is not possible, because bulk of the resources have been stolen. So those 10 million kids will grow up to become bandits one day. The banditry that you're seeing right now didn't just start today. There were armies of out of school children that now grew up. All they knew is to be on the street. So they are just being in the street, and they've
never enjoyed love.
They don't even know what is love. Nothing. So I think if you really want to curb, the fire for fire approach of Trump, I'm coming to snuff out to do. No, there are ways better. You see, that one is may work for just the immediate, to be able to stem some of this insecurity, to just bring it. But if you want to permanently put it behind us, then you need to check your policies. Does your policy shield the thieves? Does your policy shield the political corrupt officials? If once you adjust and then you give a way such that your policies make governance better for the host country, then that's when you're going to have something that is going to last for a longer time. By 2050, Nigeria is going to be over 400 million people, about 450 million. Now, that is when we are really going to see if the country is not broken up. Because you cannot keep churning out army of soldiers on the streets that are not educated, that don't have any skill to survive. No skill. The only skill they know is to hold it whatever and steal from you, or to attack you, or to pick ransom. Nigeria cannot possibly be able to survive that. So for me, first of all, I commend the fact that those who are supporting genocide and maybe even the sponsors and all that will actually be given visa ban. Fantastic, but please push it further. Make it, widen the scope. It should not only be limited to those ones. It should also be limited to a lot of corrupt.
It should also be extended.
Sorry. It should be extended to be able to capture, those who actually involved in several corrupt practices that is leading Nigeria to be in a terrible state like this. Because Nigeria, the biggest black race, if we get messed up, there is no nation that can take us. The level, the army of soldiers and of insecurity that we're going to push to the wall is better imagined. So what I'm just trying to say is that US, let's look at what we're doing and make sure that it is not only for the immediate, but it's for the medium term. Is a solution for the long time. So that in the next few years we should look back and we don't have no child on the street. Where all the Almajiris, 10 million kids. It is bigger than a lot of countries.
That's a very tall ambition in the next few years. But if at least we cut down from 10 million to 1 million, maybe we should put some timelines. In the next 2 years, 3 years, can we get it down to maybe
each year we should reduce by 1 or 2 million. I don't know. Because again, let me tell you the danger.
Exactly.
Let me tell you the danger. If you wait for too long, those people you call children would have become bandits before that 10 years time. Because if you say,
would have also given birth to children
that were also not, so it's a vicious circle, very terrible one. Yes. So that is why it must be attacked very vigorously so that you can nip it in the bud before it goes into because it morphs into something bigger. And that is what our imaginary is. Large number of them are the ones who actually went into banditry,
and they are always available. They can always be recruited.
They don't even know anything better. That's what they mean.
And at least they'll be sure that once they're recruited, they will eat, they will be taken care of, and then they have some form of authority. Everybody loves some form of authority. So when they have the arms,
so something I also need to say. So recently, sometimes past. The CEO of NNPC.
Sorry, I do not know if there's a network problem, but I think that there's actually something happening. If we cannot hear from any of our viewers, please do call us. We have barely 5 minutes to go. Can you call us on 08029938365? We need to hear from you, and we need to hear your own, get your own input. Thank you, and thanks in advance. All right.
I was talking about Mele Kyari when he recently came on air. He said
it was an Almajiri.
Yeah. Can we look at and what I wanted to find out was that what did you now do when the Lord, when the system took you out of, I don't know how you brace yourself out of it, but when you eventually did, what did you look at that consequence and say, because I know what it is to be in the cold, to be out there on the street, to be under the bridge, to do all of that, I'm going to mop up as well, because you have capacity to so do. We should not have actually opened job for the boys, because a lot NNPC was one of the biggest drain pipe when it comes to corruption and all kinds of stuff. It shouldn't be about giving to the few cronies that are around you, but for you to say, you know what, we actually this is where I came out from, and in my own, doesn't this my 4 years or 5 years or whatever, I want to deflate. I want to deflate this place. I love what Jonathan did during his own time when he said Almajiri schools. Within that little time, the guy tried, even though the Almajiri wasn't not prevalent in South, but he went to the North and said, you know what, I want to be able to deflate this.
Exactly.
I think some of our leaders really need to have compassion. They need to really have heart for the needy. It should not just be about, it's no longer my whatever, then I stay where. No, whatever goes around will come around. Now, Mele Kyari, you may be big boy right now, but you have families in your villages, you have all of that, and all of these guys will ravage those places. You know, and you so I want to challenge any leader right now, whether you call yourself the councillor, the chairman, the governor, senators, house of rep, leaders, president. please think about what the insecurity will do to your community, where you came from. Each time I go back to my community, I look at it and I say, how can I impact here? That should be the idea of everybody. You don't just say because whether Providence or whatever has separated you and you are not a big boy, you forget about them. No, don't do that. Yeah.
All right, let's close on this one. Death penalty for kidnappers, for bandits, for their financiers, for their sponsors, has been championed by the Senate.
For me, it's a good thing. But I'm trying to check whether we have the political will to pull it through. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe for once that's what the Senate is trying to.
Yeah, I hope so. Because why am I saying this? You see, I also know that quite a number of criminals that have actually been on death row and all that, no governor signed them. Because you see, apart from no governor, even when the court convicts them and say you should die by hanging,
I have about 3,800 or thereabouts.
No governor, they will just say no, not in my time. I will postpone it to the next governor coming, and nobody signs it. So what I'm trying to say is that we actually need to have, we need to adjust this the court process so that the conviction can be quick. That's number one. And also, we need to have political will to show example. I tell you something.
Is that not because of fear of the international stance on capital punishment? That's largely the reason, isn't it?
Let me tell you, even when you say fear of capital punishment, what you should, we can take exception to say
to certain things.
Yeah, to certain things. To say, you know what? Because of now, this country is about to collapse.
Exactly.
If we don't take certain very serious measures, decisions against it. So for me, I love what you said when you said what Trump has done has given us excuses. Honestly, that pronouncement of Trump can actually also give us excuse to say, you know what, the only way to stop these people from recently they kidnapped one of my kingsmen. I mean, the guy in Abuja here, you know, my village person, he was just coming all over from, I think he was coming from Oshun. He went for the daughter's inauguration, matriculation, and he was coming in coming back to Abuja, and he was picked there in Kaba.
Jesus Christ.
He was picked. He devastated me. I'm the chairman of my village people in Abuja. Oh. So the heat was just all over me. Chairman, he distracted me like nothing. I couldn't do everything. And when kidnapped for whatever, this thing is coming so close home, where you can know who was kidnapped. And you know something? This guy is a welder, and they demanded 10 million from him. 10 million. And I'm asking,
where is he going to get?
Where will he get 10 million?
In fact, even if the association wants to help,
how can we help? So tell me, when they say 10 million, I just feel like, God, where are we going to waste 10 million for this guy? But you know, after much negotiation, they kept him, you know, right there, beating him. Because when they want to speak to whatever, they will be beating you like that, shouting, so that you can be feeling even on the phone. Don't do what you want to do. So it was crazy.
This is not laughter.
Sorry, it's not like, but that's
not of
happened to me, you know. So that was it. So until it was negotiated as 3 million, I'm telling you, the family had to go drop 3 million for this for them before they release their father, their husband. They took the 3 million. So when people say they are not paying ransom, check again. Check again. The ransom is being paid. It may not be paid directly by the military. But it is paid by somebody. He just say, I would rather pay this amount than allow the person to die.
Exactly.
You know, so I am just saying that look, we really need a whole lot.
That is something that the general said yesterday. That even when they pay, he said because some people will want to pay out of the desperation to get their people. He said, but even when they pay, there's technology. We should have a way by which
track it. They know what to do. It is political way to get it done. You know, so for me, I just think the death penalty, I don't know whether it's a bit hasty. You know, if it's a life sentence, maybe like that. But if you say death penalty, I mean, it's something that will reduce the tendency for that.
You know,
but I realized that.
You know what I've come to realize?
Yeah.
In a country and maybe in some other jurisdictions, people don't really know what good is. They don't know what good is. That sometimes you have to do on good to bring about good.
Correct.
I don't.
Correct.
There's nothing called on good.
Yeah.
Please allow me that
Yeah.
pun.
Yeah.
Allow me use that pun. That
Yeah.
you have to do on good.
Yeah.
To be able to.
It's a simple thing. If somebody is sick, you give the person injection. It's painful immediately, but it's gonna heal that guy.
Exactly. So that's I read somewhere on Facebook sometime. Somebody said he works, whether he or she now works in a lab testing, a lab facility.
Yeah.
And that he has helped save several marriages where they came to do DNA, and the result was going to be
The negative.
the negative was negative,
Yeah.
which shows that a party had been playing games,
Yeah.
and that he tried to manipulate that. And I looked at and I felt like in my privacy, in my where I was reading in our home, I felt like you don't even know what good is good.
Yeah.
And he was saying it like he's a Christian.
Yeah.
He has helped these families to survive. You don't even know good.
Yeah.
You don't even know what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
And until we know what's good and what's right, what's wrong, we will never be able to do the right thing or the good thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes we need to do the ungood in order to do good.
Yeah, correct.
I think we're going to have to close now. And it's been a wild time with Ambassador Moses Kolawole Obisesan. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure, anytime.
I don't know what's happening. We didn't get any of your calls. Whatever it is, I hope that this will soon be a thing of the past, because your contribution makes the program come much more alive and gives the entire viewership a more robust menu. We look forward to that time. I do hope that during the polity, when you join me at 2 o'clock, I hope that this will not be the same situation. I look forward to having you also. You are very important to us. You make Kaftan Television happen. You make it tick. Thank you for being there, and tell other people about the wonders that are happening on Kaftan Television. Let me not forget to say thank you to my production team. Thank you, Bright. Thank you, Ephraim. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, every one of you who's involved this morning. Ben and all of you. And Habib, thank you so very much. And Ozi Shayami, thank you. Thanks in your own way. I hope you're watching. So it's going to be bye for now. My name is Dayo Mogun. Don't forget 2 p.m. the polity. 8 p.m. Matters Arising. I'll be there, hopefully by His grace. And I expect that you will be on the other side to make the team. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.